Warning. Just because I use these herbs, just because I can eat these herbs, just because I can touch these herbs, just because I can smell these herbs, just because I can have anal sex with these herbs, does not mean that you do not have allergies or medications that may interfere with said herbs. Do not look, do not smell, do not touch, do not eat, do not even think of ordering, buying, or even of the herb itself, for you may break out into a reaction. They may cause death, miscarriages, and so on and so forth. Any medical opinions or advice that I give in these videos, you cannot hold me responsible for. It is your job to seek out an actual, licensed, educated, and fully trained physician who knows your family history to better educate you on if you can even look at a herb without breaking out into a rash or instantly dying. Thank you. Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? So y'all know how this works. We got 5 herbs to go through. I don't give you every single piece of last detail of information. Sometimes I don't give you elements, sometimes I don't give you planetary, sometimes I don't give you DD, sometimes I just don't give you anything. But what I do give you is the information that I have found, the information that I find relevant, and my own personal experiences with the herb and how I personally use the herb. So let us get right on into it, because we got 5 herbs to go through, so you're going to see me looking a lot alike for the next 5 episodes. So I hope y'all can see. I have you sitting at the other side of this table, so if you see some incense smoke, you see some candles, you see some books, you see some, I don't know, orgies or something. Awesome. But the first herb we're going to be talking about is Marigold, and you're like, honey, I can't see that. Woo! Girl, we're just dumping the herb everywhere. This is what the herb looks like. I'm gonna reach over. I got candles burning my arms. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. Let's take out one of these flowers. So these are whole marigold flowers, but these aren't just regular marigolds. These are marigold pot flowers, otherwise known as calendia. I probably just said that wrong. There's a lot of nut carrying. So what do we know about calendia, or as I'm gonna continue to call it, marigold pot? Marigold pot is also known as wild pot marigold, calendia, whatever. You get my point. This is what it's known as. It's known as pot marigold, it's known as marigold, it's known as calendia. We get it. It's a Mediterranean annual herb, so, you know, it grows once a year. People use this in salads, okay? So I'm just letting you know. People will take whole flowers and they will put them in salads. The marigolds that you can buy at your local plant store that you put in your garden, I believe there are the same marigolds. They might be different because they come in various different shades of colors, but those are the ones that people also put in their salads. The flowers are edible. Egyptians and Romans used it in culinary and healing purposes. Raven Ways has a video on this stuff where she had made, and if I find the video, I'll link it. There'll be a card, yada yada yada. Nobody gives a fuck. But she made a video about an oil she made using this. And it's an oil that's used for, you know, like cuts and scrapes and just everyday, you know, bumps and bruises. And I thought that oil was pretty interesting. I might be making my own version of that oil and sharing it with the most fabulous ways of the Ravens. So this is associated with the sun, okay? This flower is popular in love spells, and it is used in the old game of he loves me not. You know, we rip the petals off, and you're like, he loves me not, and the flower's like, you're ripping my limbs off! You're ripping my limbs off! It's like, bitch, I'm ripping your petals off, like, fuck. So yeah, you could mix this with a little bit of lavender, a little bit of rose, make an oil, gonna love oil, yada yada, so on and so forth, nobody gives a fuck, etc. I would probably also mix in a little bit of hibiscus. I'd make a tea out of this, you know, why not? Love attraction for the win. So this herb is an antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antiseptic type of herb. Now, that information is not 100% proven. There is not a book out there that says yes, 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 but there's a lot of information on the internet that says maybe, maybe, maybe. So, you know, about how you check in with your doctor and all that other jazz. Vaccinate your children. Anyways. So, again, going back to that oil, if you wanted to make an infused oil out of this, you know, you've got a really good antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antiseptic kind of oil. But again, just be careful, be careful, be careful. I do not recommend putting any kind of plant on an open wound or anything like that unless you have spoke to your doctor. So this is used in prophetic dreams, protection, respect, and legal matters, okay? So I'm not understanding how you would use it in prophetic dreams. I don't get that vibe off of this herb at all in any way, shape, or form. As for protection, I could see it being protective. You know, the sun is a giant ball of fire. Anything that gets too close to it will be burned to shreds. Legal matters, well, because it's association with the sun, I probably would assume that, you know, the sun will shine bright on the injustice and the accused will be brought to justice. So I could see that working in legal matters, you know. Respect, again, we respect the sun, so I could see it. You would carry this for legal matters when looking for a favorable outcome. So, you know, if you've just molested little Timmy and you're looking at 35,000 years for child pornography, you know, carry a little bit of this, except don't go around molesting children. Because that's wrong and disgusting. But you get my point, okay? There's a point to be made there. Simmer in honey and white wine and rub all over your body. Again, remember, talk to your goddamn doctor before you do this. To have dreams of a future husband and or wife. So maybe you're bisexual, maybe you're lesbian, maybe you're a poly something, maybe you just like having orgies. I don't really know, nor do I give a fuck. But you know, a little bit of honey, a little bit of white wine, a little bit of rubbing on your body, a little bit of masturbation. Here we go. We're going to have dreams. Probably talk to your doctor before you do any of that. If taken by mouth while pregnant, there is a chance for miscarriage. Stay the fuck away from this if you are pregnant. Unless you're 16. And you're part of a TV show that's like you're running away from the cops. I just watched this episode of Law and Order where this guy would he'd sleep with these women, he'd get them knocked up, and then he'd put this kind of herb, I don't know what it was, on his dick, and then sleep with them again, and it would cause an abortion, a miscarriage. I don't really know where I was going with this, so let's just continue on. So this may cause, so if you are allergic to ragweed, or any of that kind of thing, stay the fuck away from this. Talk to your doctor, for God's sakes. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got on marigolds. I've always been attracted to marigolds, just because of how bright and, you know, colorful and beautiful they are. And I would definitely be seeing me using this in love spells, honey jars, various different oils, so on and so forth. I could probably make an incense out of this that would help to sweeten the air, if you will. So, I haven't actually used marigolds yet. I have all of these incense, okay, and I need to basically burn through them all, because I make incense like there's no tomorrow. but I've got so many incense that it's just like, and I'm not talking store-bought incense like the ones you may see burning around here. I'm talking, because those I go through like there's no tomorrow. I'm talking about the loose leaf incense, the ones you put on like a coal or whatever. Those are the ones that I really need to burn through before I start burning or making new incense. Because if you really think about it, herbs like these only last for about 2 years on the shelf before you gotta chuck them. And it's not that they start growing mold or anything, but you know, they start losing their properties, you know, depending on how you store them, they might not contain the oils essentially anymore. They just kind of get stale and bland. So make sure after 2 years you're like in the garbage. In the fucking garbage. And I have enough herbs here that are going to last me decades. Decades and decades. Decades and decades and decades. Okay? So that's a little bit of information on marigolds. If you've got information on marigolds, if you've got medical facts, and I put facts in quotes because you ain't no damn doctor. But if you've got medical information, or if you've got spells, rituals, incense, teas, dildos, I don't really give a fuck, then, you know, comment. And until the next video, my fabulous little witchy queens, please stay educated and stay opinionated. And don't forget about my Patreon, which is somewhere the fuck around here. Okay? Love. Mwah.